Okay, so today we're going to discuss about educational technology integration, a transformative approach. Educational technology integration refers to the effective use of digital tools and platforms to enhance teaching and learning. A transformative approach goes beyond simply using gadgets in class. It involves reshaping pedagogical strategies, curriculum delivery, and student engagement. In this framework, technology is not an add-on but a core part of the learning experience, tailored to foster critical thinking, collaboration, and innovation. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today, I am assigned to discuss the topic about educational technology integration, a transformative approach. So let's proceed and let's dive in. So it has been discussed and defined the definition a while ago by Doc Marmelo, but still I'm going to give you a glimpse of its definition. Beforehand, I would like to introduce to you the topics that I'm going to discuss. So first one is the educational technology integration, a transformative approach, defining educational technology and its potential, then examining current integration challenges in schools, followed by innovative edtech tools for enhanced learning, then case studies, successful technology integration examples. Then addressing equity and accessibility concerns in EdTech, strategies for effective teacher training and support, the future of EdTech trends and predictions, and lastly, the conclusions. So introduction for this is that educational technology integration refers to the process of embedding technology tools and resources into teaching and learning practices to improve educational outcomes and engagement. So the best example for this are using of Google Classrooms. Ito po yung usually ginagamit natin to create a virtual classroom kung saan po yung mga students natin, they can submit their assignments, pwede sila mag-participate in our discussion, and at the same time, they can receive feedbacks and we feed feedbacks. Ito pong integration na to, it supports a streamlined communication sa mga estudyante natin. It also form an organization of course materials kung saan yung mga students natin nagiging active sa participation. And it also facilitates real-time feedback and foster collaboration among our students. Using Google Classroom po, nagiging mas madali sa atin at na mas nagiging organized po yung mga bata, yung mga students natin at tayo po bilang teachers nila. Natatrack natin yung assignments nila, nabibigyan natin sila ng deadlines, and at the same time, na-improve yung time management skills ng teachers and ng students. So, educational technology integration is the incorporation of technology into educational settings in ways that fundamentally change the teaching and learning experience. So, that is precisely correct. Example po natin dito is yung flipped classroom model, yung project-based learning, virtual field trips. So, I'll enumerate them one by one. So, and explained it as well. So yung flipped classroom model po, yung teacher po, nag-assign po siya ng mga lecture videos sa mga students na kung saan po papanoorin po nila ito sa bahay. Uh, yung klase na po ng discussion na to, uh, magiging hands-on po yung mga activities sa kanila. And then, Yung project-based learning po, yung mga students po, nag-use po sila ng mga digital tools to collaborate on their projects. Tulad po ng pag-create ng presentation using platforms po na tinatawag po na Prezi or Canva, katulad po ng ginagamit ko at this moment. This allowed them to showcase their research creativity, followed by the virtual field trips. Itong pong platforms na to, tulad po ng Google Earth, kung have you experienced that one, po yung virtual reality na ma-experience po ng bata na para po silang nasa field trips. Na pupuntahan po nila yung mga historical sites or natural wonders po na na-enhance po para sa kanila para maintindihan po ng gusto kung ano po yung topic or yung historical behind those areas po. So, as you can see po, those pictures po are examples of what those three things that I have said, yung flipped classroom model, project-based learning, at saka yung virtual field trips. Yung ganito po kasing approaches po para sa mga bata, nagpo-promote po ito ng flexibility and accommodation po na in a different form, in a different learning preferences na kung saan po nag-aalaw po tayo sa students na maging engaging sila at mas maintindihan po nila yung material properly. If you experience this one, yung mga ganito pong project-based learning, nagpapakita po kung gaano po ka-importante yung technology at kung paano po natin na-enhance yung collaboration and creativity natin. Kapag pinagsama-sama po natin to, yung presentation po natin, hindi lang po nakakatulong po para po sa mga bata, para matuto sila, kundi we also develop connections with their peers sa iba't ibang parahan po. In different perspective. So let's define educational technology and its potential. So educational technology encompasses a range of tools, including software applications, hardware devices, and online platforms that facilitate learning and improve educational outcomes. Example po natin dito ay yung learning management systems, interactive whiteboards, educational apps. So ano nga po ba yung learning management system? Yung platform na to, it's like a model and blackboard po na nag-aalaw po sa mga educators to create online classes. They manage student progress at nagbibigay po sila ng mga resources in one centralized location. I'll show you the picture po. Next is the interactive whiteboards. Ano nga ba yung interactive whiteboards? Yung tool na po to, it's like a smart board po na kung saan po yung mga teacher po, they display interactive lessons. Inaalaw nila yung mga students sila na maging engage directly po dun sa content by touching the board. Uh, if you're If you're going to take a look po dun sa picture po dyan, di ba nakikita niyo po si teacher? Nagpo-point out po siya. So, yan po yung interactive whiteboards. The educational apps po like Duolingo for language learning, ito pong Khan Academy sa lower portion po. Ito po may mga various subjects po dyan na in-offer. Pinopersonalize po nila yung learning experience na pwede pong mag-adapt sa individual students' need. Um, if you have a time po later, pwede nyo pong i-navigate to. Pwede nyo pong i-check. Makikita nyo po na very engaging po yung mga videos po nila. Hindi lang po to collaborate with the students, even to the teachers. Next, examining current integration challenges in schools. So current challenges in educational technology integration refers to barriers that prevent effective use of technology in teaching and learning environments. So usually po dito, yung examples po natin dito, are the following: inadequate training, number two is limited resources, the third one is the resistance to change. So, ano nga po ba tong tatlong ito? So, excuse me lang po ha, saglit lang po classmates. Sorry for that. Nagtatalunan po kasi yung mga pusa. Thank you po. So let's proceed po. So yung career challenges po sa educational technology po natin, ito po yung mga nagpe-prevent po sa atin na maging effective po yung technology sa teaching natin at saka sa learning environments. As what I have said, one factor of this is the inadequate training. So yung mga teachers po natin, hindi po kasi sila nakaka-receive ng sufficient training on how they are going to effectively integrate yung technology sa kanilang mga classrooms. Now, which is nagli-lead po sa underutilization ng mga available resources. So, tignan niyo po yung mga teachers po dyan. Even them, confused, they don't know how to use the materials kasi nga po insufficient po. The third And the third one, wala po silang proper training about on how they're going to use the devices. Next is limited resources. Yung mga schools po natin, if you're going to observe, they intend low income po sa mga areas na areas po na meron pong kulang. Sufficient po when it comes to computers, internet access, na nagkakos po sa mga students po na maging engaging po dun sa online classes. Mostly po na-experience to sa public schools. Though meron po tayo mga stakeholders that they are willing to donate their used materials, hindi pa rin siya nagiging sufficient kasi nga po sa dami ng populations ng students in a particular school. At is number two causes din po is yung venue, yung classroom, yung availability ng internet. Not all schools po ay may free internet. May particular area po kasi na hindi po kayang lagyan ng internet tower dahil nga po dun sa area. So excuse me, tulad po sa amin, ang dami na po naming internet router, still hindi siya nagiging conducive for learning ng mga bata when it comes to using of technology dahil nga po nagpa-fluctuate. So kapag may mga dala po yung mga bata na personal tablet nila for educational purposes, and then we need to connect to the internet, hindi talaga na-navigate ng bata properly. Yung like quizzes. So, ganun po. Next po natin is resistance to change. Marami po kasing teachers ang resistant, lalo na po when it comes to technology. Hesitant po silang i-adapt yung mga technologies na to, hindi lang dahil lack sila ng familiarity about it, they also concerned po yung sa effectiveness po ba nito. If it is, um, kung high rate po ba yung effectiveness ng usage ng technology sa lesson proper nila. They more prefer to do and conduct traditional teaching methods. Dahil po sa ganitong mga challenges mo, nagkakaroon ng disparities when it comes to educational experiences. Particular po, disadvantages po sa mga communities na kulang po sa access ng technology and limited po yung mga devices. So, ako po, first hand po ako ah, sa mga ganito pong training na nakita ko po yung epekto na kapag ang teachers po wala pong proper training dito, yung confidence niya about technology, hindi siya sigurado. For sure, hindi niya po hindi niya maituturo sa kanyang mga estudyante yung usage of the devices. It takes time. Kahit po may manual, still it needs training para po properly executed and collaborated yung lessons para po sa mga estudyante. And para po din po magkaroon ng professional growth si teacher. So, let's proceed. Innovative educational technology tools for enhanced learning. So, yung examples ko po dyan ay game-based learning. Number two, platforms. Number three, for, virtual reality experiences, collaborative tools. So, ito pong innovative educational technology tools, ito po yung mga advanced resources na nakadesign po para po mag-improve yung learning experience at saka yung outcomes po. Yung game-based learning po, ito po ay tools po like ng Classcraft and quizzes. Tulad po ng sinasabi ko kanina. Gamify lessons po. Ito po yung game lessons po na inaalaw po yung mga students na mag-earn ng points. And then after that, they are going to have these rewards for participation po dun sa correct answers nila. Yung virtual reality experiences naman po, ang example ko po dyan, if you're going to look at the picture, ito po yung applications po ng, tulad po ng Nearpod. Inaalaw po yung mga educators dito na mag-create po ng immersive lessons para po sa mga students. Dito po kasi na-explore po yung mga historical events at saka scientific phenomena through virtual reality. Yung third naman po, ito po yung collaborative tools natin. Nakapin po sa may sa below po ng aking two pictures. Yung software po tulad po ng Microsoft Teams or Slack po. Dito po uh, we enable po yung mga students na mag-work together sa mga projects po nila in real time. Regardless po ng kanilang physical location. Kapag po yung mga tools na to na promote po natin, hindi lang po to magkakaroon ng active participation, magagamit din po ito as formative assessment po sa learning ng mga bata. It is also fun and engaging. For sure. Kasi ilang beses na po namin nagamit yung quizzes po sa mga bata, most especially po sa kindergarten. So, we are allowing them to bring their iPads po. Meron po kasing iPads, tablets, or anything na available po na devices sa mga bata. Then, yung mga batang ito, na-introduce na po namin sa kanila yung quizzes. So, alam na po nilang i-navigate. So, bago kami nag-proceed dyan, nagkaroon po kami ng mini tour sa kanila kung paano siya gagamitin at kung paano nila ina-navigate when it comes to their physical and online activity po. Ito pong experiences ko po sa mga ganito pong klase po ng tools at saka platforms, tulad po ng quizzes, tulad nga po ng sinabi ko, hindi lang po magkakaroon ng fan assessment. Mas lalo pa po nating tinitrigger at saka yung pagkakaroon po ng greater motivation sa mga bata. Di lang sila po nag enjoy mas lalo pa po silang nagpa-participate as I've observed po. Case studies, successful technology integration, example. So, successful technology integrations, case studies highlight effective practices and outcomes from schools or programs that have effectively implemented educational technology. Diretso na po tayo sa examples. Ito po yung kanina si Khan Academy, then si Summit Learning, and then the last one is the Film Grid. So, ano nga po tong si Khan Academy po? Ito po yung pictures. Ito po yung platform po na nagbibigay po ng free online resources po dun sa mga bata na pwede po nilang ma-navigate in their own pace po. Nag-improve po to na engagement at saka performance sa iba't ibang subjects po ng mga bata. Pwede nyo po itong i-download. Meron po siya sa Android at meron din po siya sa Apple. As you can see, ayan po, in-endorse ko na po sa inyo. Masaya po. If you're going to try it, napakasaya pong gamitin itong platform na ito. Lalo na po sa mga bata. Nagiging engaging po sila. Then, the second one is the Summit Learning. Ito po ay isang personalized learning program po na gumagamit mo ng technology, hindi lang po para ma-tailor yung learning experience ng bata, kundi po para paspataasin po yung engagement achievement ng bata po. Yung film grade naman po, ito po yung ito po yung video po na nagdi-discuss po sa mga students po para mag-share po sa nila ng kanilang mga thoughts, ng ideas, sa paanong paraan po in video format po. Hindi lang po sila, sa ganitong paraan po, hindi lang po kasi nade-develop sa mga bata yung sense of community. Ano po pong nade-develop? Nade-develop po yung kanilang communication skills. If you're going to observe the students nowadays, napakagaling at napakahusay po nila when it comes to English. They are very fluent po. Yung habang ino-observe ko po yung mga bata using these platforms po, yung film grid, nakita ko po na na-express po nila yung kanilang mga ideas using the power of technology. Na-enhance din po ang kanilang communication. Nagiging inclusive din po yung environment, lalo na po sa lahat ng bata po na gusto nilang mag-voice out ng kanilang mga ideas and concepts. Next, let's proceed po. So, addressing equity and accessibility concerns in educational technology. So, what is this? Equity and accessibility concerns in educational technology focus on ensuring that all students have equal access to technological resources and learning opportunities. What are the examples for this? First one is device distribution program, followed by public Wi-Fi initiatives, and the third one is assistive technology. Go ahead. So I'll show you the pictures po. So, yung first one po natin is device distribution program. Meron pong mga paaralan po na nagpo-provide po ng laptops or tablets po sa mga estudyante in a low-income families po. Para po masigurado na yung mga family to, lalo na po yung mga estudyante, they can use yung necessary tools for their learning. Followed by public Wi-Fi initiatives. May community programs po na nag-offer din po ng Wi-Fi access sa mga public areas, public spaces, para po yung mga students, they can complete their assignments online. Then, yung assistive technology. Ayan po, napakadami po. Makikita niyo po dyan sa pictures, what are those things? Ito po yung mga tools na katulad po ng text-to-speech software, if you are aware of that. At saka yung mga skin readers po, yes pa. Ah, seekers mo po. Excuse me lang po, classmate. Wait lang po. Apologies for that. Let's continue. As what I have said po, yung mga tools like text-to-speech software, yung skin readers po, sinusupport po nila yung mga students po na may mga disabilities. Bakit? Para po kasi masigurado po na yung mga katulad po nila ay makakapag-participate fully doon po sa learning process. So if you're going to look at those pictures po, yan po yung mga assistive devices at saka technology po na pwede pong gamitin ng mga students po natin na may disabilities. Kapag ganito po kasi yung initiatives natin, hindi lang po tayo nakakatulong para po magkaroon ng bridge sa paggamit po ng mga digital devices. Sinisigurado din po natin ang bawat ng estudyante po ay meron pong resources na makakatulong sa kanila na mag-connect po sa modern learning experiences using these following technologies and platforms. Well, okay. Classmate, narinig niyo po ba yung part na ito? Parang na-leave ko po yatang off yung aking mic. So I'll just go back to this topic po.
Rinig po, ma'am.
So, narinig niyo po?
Yes po, yung sa assistive devices po. Mga
Okay, thank
text-to-speech po yung
God.
binanggit niya, ma'am.
Okay, thank God. Okay, strategies for effective teacher training and support. So, effective teacher training and support strategies are professional development initiatives designed to equip educators with the skills necessary to integrate technology into their teaching practices successfully. What are those examples po? Hands-on workshop, online training modules, and mentorship programs. So, I'll show you the pictures po. The first one po ay yung device first one po ay yung hands-on workshop po. Yung ganito pong professional development na sessions po, inaalaw po yung mga teachers po na mag-practice using the new tools po in real classroom scenarios. Ine-enhance po din yung confidence nating mga teachers at nade-develop po yung ating competence. Sa online training modules naman po, ito po yung mga self-paced courses po na nagpo-provide sa mga educators tulad natin na gamitin po yung mga resources and strategies po na nag-integrate ng technology effectively, lalo na po when it comes sa ating teaching. Little later na anak. Then mentorship programs. Paired experience po ng teachers doon po sa mga less familiar po when it comes to technology. Ito po yung paraan para po mag-provide ng guidance and support at mag-foster po yung collaborative learning environment natin. Kapag tayo po ay nagkaroon po ng continuous professional development, hindi lang po natin masisigurado na yung mga teachers ay they feel confident. They also feel competent po sa paggamit po ng ah, technology. Nagiging mas na-enhance po sa atin yung pagde-deliver na ang bata dapat alam, they also know how to use the technology properly and accurately. And as what I have said po, nagiging maganda po yung learning experience ng mga bata. Kapag po meron ganito pong professional development, tulad po ng workshop, mas na-highlight po yung kahalagahan po kasi ng mga ah, trainings sa mga teachers. Nagiging mas prepared tayo. Tapos yung mga students po natin, nagbe-benefit sila from us. Kasi po yung learning activities po nila, mas nagiging engaging, mas nagiging collaborative, and then yung outcomes, mas maganda, mas effective. So let's proceed on the future educational technology, trends and predictions So what is this? The future of educational technology encompasses emerging trends and predictions about the evolution of educational technologies and their impact on learning. What are these? Examples ko po yung artificial intelligence or what we call the AI, augmented reality, and the third one is the data analytics. So take a look for those pictures po. So yung artificial intelligence po, nag-increase po ng ito pong AI or artificial intelligence po, nagpo-provide po siya ng personalized learning experience, lalo na po sa mga bata or sa atin po as a teachers and educators. Na-analyze mo ng students po yung kanilang performance at the same time po yung kanilang yung educational concepts sa mga tinuturo po natin. And then this AI po, as I've observed po, mostly po ay nagagamit na natin siya uh, sa, sa teaching, sa research, in this, ano pa, when it comes to uh, looking for an idea or concepts po sa particular concept natin. And last month po, nagkaroon po kami ng training about Canva. So, ito pong Canva namin, meron na po siyang portion na pwede in AI na po. Yeah, pwede ka po mag-create, mag-ask ka po doon mag-ask ka po sa kanya ng isang particular concept and then ibibigay niya po to abruptly. In an instant, nandiyan na po siya. And then meron na po siyang, what do you call this, translator. So, yun po, marami pa pong iba. And then, pwede po ninyo i-navigate yung inyong Canva later on para po sa mga ganito pong features added po sa atin. Then, the augmented reality. Ito po yung mga tools po na nag-overlay po sa digital information patungo po sa online world or ay sa real world. Ito, if you're going to look at the girl po, inaalaw po niya yung mga students natin na ma-explore po yung concepts in more interactive way. Tulad po ng augmented apps po. Si Sir Edmar po, he is a nurse po. So, most probably po, ginagamit niya po ito. Kasi po maganda po to when it comes to anatomy. May subject po kasing ganun. So, mas na-navigate nila, mas na-internalize, na-visualize nila properly yung anatomy subject. Then, let's proceed po dun sa data analytics. Ito po yung paggamit po ng learning analytics, natatrack po yung students when it comes to their progress. Ini-inform din yung mga instructional practices, para po ipaalam sa mga educators na dapat mo maging data-driven tayo. Lalo na po when it comes to decisions. Kasi when we decide na properly, makikita natin yung suporta natin dun sa mga estudyante natin. So, kung dapat ba let's continue this type of strategy or not, doon po natin makikita. Kapag may ganito po kasi tayong trends, potentially po and significantly may enhance po yung educational practices. Hindi lang po mag improve yung students' outcome po natin, magpo-provide pa po ito ng personalized and engaging learning experience po. Hindi lang po sa bata na tinuturuan natin, kundi pa lalo na po sa atin as educators. Yung artificial intelligence po, hindi lang po nagtatransform sa education. It transform a lot actually. At sinasuggest dito po yung pag-shift towards more personalized learning experiences po na pwedeng mag-address po sa diverse needs ng ating mga estudyante. At nakakatulong po para po sa education na natin ngayon, which is we are very particular in an inclusive learning environment. So, what is my conclusion? My conclusion about this is represent a transformative approach to teaching and learning that can significantly enhance educational experiences. While challenges persist, the potential for improving engagement, accessibility, and outcome is immense. By fostering an environment that embraces innovation and prioritizes inclusivity, we can create educational experiences that prepare all students for success in rapidly changing world. So I want to share this one. In the landscape of education, technology is not just a tool, it is a catalyst for change, shaping the future of our learning. So these are my references. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Apologies for inconvenience po kanina. Hopefully you learned something today. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank
God
you.
bless.
So redefining the role of the teacher is very important. With transformative integration, the teacher shifts from being a sole source of knowledge to a facilitator of learning. Let's say, for example, instead of delivering lectures exclusively through chalk and talk, a science teacher might use simulation apps to allow students to virtually experiment with chemical reactions. No? And this empowers students to explore, make mistakes, and learn actively rather than passively receiving information. Digital tools, as our presenter mentioned, can significantly increase student motivation by making learning interactive and fun. So gamification, for instance, uses game elements like points and badges to encourage participation. In a language class, students may use apps like Duolingo or Quizlet not to review vocabulary while enjoying a game-based learning environment. And this kind of engagement leads to deeper learning and better retention of information. Promoting technology, of course, promoting inclusive and differentiated learning, technology allows educators to address diverse learning needs. No? Students with learning difficulties can benefit from assistive technologies like speech to text software or visual learning apps. Let's say, for example, in an inclusive classroom, a student with dyslexia can use audiobooks or text highlighting tools to keep up with readings activities. Now, similarly, advanced learner can access enrichment content online to deepen their knowledge and at their own pace. Now, transformative technology use promotes collaboration among students and between students and teachers. Tools like, I think you are familiar with Google Workspace, Microsoft Teams, enable real-time document sharing, peer feedback, and group discussions. In a project-based learning setup, students can co-author a research paper or create a multimedia presentation using Canva or Prezi, even if they are working remotely from different locations. So our presenter mentioned that they have conducted training on this technology, no? And data-driven instruction and feedback is also another important things that we need to consider because technology enables teachers to gather and analyze student performance data quickly. Sabi ni presenter, LMS like Moodle or Canvas can track progress, quiz, scores, and attendance. So a math teacher can use this data to identify struggling students and provide targeted intervention. So immediate feedback through platforms like Kahoot or Socrative also allows learners to reflect and improve on their performance in a real time. No? So a transformative approach ensures students develop 21st century likes 21st century skills like digital literacy, problem solving, and digital citizenship. So integrating coding into elementary classes using tools like Scratch or teaching students how to research and evaluate sources online prepares them for future academic and professional environments. And this forward-thinking mindset is critical in producing graduates who can thrive in a tech-driven society. So, but of course, we have challenges in the needs for continuous professional development because despite its benefits, educational technology integration faces challenges such as limited access to devices, internet connectivity issues, and varying levels of teacher digital competence. So to address this, Our institution must invest in infrastructure and continuous professional development. For instance, regular training, workshop, and peer mentoring programs can help educators learn to use new tools effectively and confidently, ensuring technology serves its transformative purpose. Okay, so thank you so much to our presenter and good afternoon, everyone.